Thank you for inviting me to this conference. And today I'm going to talk about the transcreation of advertisements from a practitioner's perspective. I'm aware that there are several definitions of transcreation out there being used by academics, by language service providers, and translators. As a copywriter, I write advertisements in Italian from scratch, and that is copywriting in the sense of origination. But I also adapt advertisements from English and German to Italian, and that is transcreation. So for the advertising industry, transcreation is, by definition, the adaptation of advertisements, of marketing and advertising copy. That is to say, of texts that have a clear persuasive function. And transcreation is a practice and a service that's halfway between translation and copywriting, hence the need for a different word, transcreation. I would like to propose this definition, like this. Oh, sorry. Writing, advertising, or marketing copy for a specific market, starting from copy written in a source language, as if the target text had originated in the target language and culture. I would like to emphasize the creative element of writing at the heart of transcreation, because I'm under the impression that it is somewhat overlooked in current literature. So basically, when I perform transcreation work, I create a text, advertising or marketing copy, so ATL or BTL copy, persuasive text, that have to resonate with a certain target audience, an audience that has a certain language, culture, that is part of a certain market, but I do so starting from a text that is written in a foreign language. Otherwise, I would be doing origination, copywriting in the sense of origination. And in my opinion, transcreation requires 4 different skills. It's not working. Oh, sorry, wait. First and foremost, well, language skills, because you're working with a text that's written in a foreign language, so you need to decode it, understand it. And in this respect, the transcreation professional is 1/4 translator. But transcreation also requires strong copywriting skills, because the target text must be as punchy as the original. It must elicit the same effect as the original, but it must also be consistent with a communication strategy that's determined by the brand. So in this respect, the transcreation professional is also 1/4 copywriter. Thirdly, cultural sensitivity also plays a key role, because the target text must be appropriate for the target culture. And that is why I say that the transcreation professional is also a cultural anthropologist of sorts, in inverted commas, obviously. And last but not least, local market understanding. So the target text must be appropriate for the target market. And by that, I mean that, for example, when I perform transcreation work, I should try not to use wording or images used by a brand's competitors, because I try to come up with copy that is as unique as possible, because it has to reflect that very particular brand. So in this respect, the transcreation professional is, in my opinion, 1/4 marketer. And now I'm going to show you examples taken from my professional experience to show you how all these 4 skills come into play in transcreation. This was a newsletter for a clothing brand, and it had a headline in the original English that said, "Invest in our best." And then it said, "Pick your offer, €20 when you spend €100 or more, 25% off sweaters, or 30% off 3 or more items." So basically, they were advertising special offers that you could find in the store. So invest in our best is very succinct, very punchy, sounds well in English, it has a rhyme. So I try and see how I could render this in Italian. And the Italian adaptation was investi meglio. So it literally says invest better. So invest was retained, best became better, but investire is invest, obviously, but vestire in Italian means to wear, to dress something. So, to wear something, to dress up. So basically, investi meglio is both invest better, but also dress better. So there's two layers of meaning here. On the one hand, spend your money in a better way, come to our shop, and you'll find these 3 amazing offers to choose from. And wear better clothes by purchasing our clothes that are being sold today. This is also for a clothing brand, and it's a video, it's a television commercial, but in the Italian version, it was only broadcast on social media, and that's the reason why you'll notice that the original German version does have voiceover lines that are missing in the Italian version. The whole concept of this campaign is using hashtags that reflect the way people feel about something. So the original advert was in German, and you see the 4 hashtags there, but we'll see them shortly in the video. But I was also provided with an English equivalent, as it were, that you see on the right. So the main challenge here was to come up with hashtags that really reflect how people feel, that kind of strike a chord with the target audience. Another thing to look at was, try not to put people off, because this hashtag, if rendered closely in Italian, Scheissdag and Shitty Day, would probably put people off, I think. And I was, going for catchphrases. I was trying to add some humorous twist to it. But let's see the original German.
Schnapp dir den C&A Best Deal. Streifen Jumpsuit nur 19 €. Jetzt bei C&A.
There's a delay, but still, this is the original version of the commercial. And I'm going to play the Italian first and take a look at the hashtags later. So it says, per oggi ho dato. Una gioia, and that was the Shitty Day and the Scheissdag. So basically, now that's more like it. That was ora si ragiona, and voila. So yes, the meaning was retained, but I felt that this really these 4 Italian hashtags really reflected the way people feel about certain situations, because the situations that you see in the advert are like everyday situations. You're very tired after a very long day, you had a bad day, but then you meet your friends and maybe some cute guy. So that was the main challenge for me here. This is a very interesting example, I believe, because most people tend to think that transcreation is all about being creative, all about unleashing creativity. There's something going wrong. I'm not sure what that is. But I'd like to show you this example where you can clearly see that you may have to work with texts that have a very strong constraint, and this is the case. So it's a print ad, and it says, after examining the critical elements of their business, we'll help Dow save $2.5 billion. Woohoo! Okay. So basically, this advert is built around a headline and an exclamation to that statement. moving on. So as I said, this no. Ok. Ci siamo. It's working now. So, okay. As I said, this advert features a headline and a reaction, an exclamation to that headline. Lo usiamo? Okay, it's turned off. Is it turned on? No. Where is it? Grazie. Okay. Is it? It's not. It is? Okay, sorry. Again, headline and a reaction to that statement, okay? So the first thing to establish here was, could I retain woohoo in English? Well, woohoo is something that you may hear if you're watching a movie that is dubbed in Italian, but in writing, I'm not really sure that the target audience will understand that. But the tricky bit was, Dow is a chemical company, and woohoo is written using elements of the periodic table. So I had to recreate that, recreate some sort of exclamation or answer or reaction to this statement by using elements of the periodic table. And the Italian became, analizzando gli elementi chiave del loro business, abbiamo fatto risparmiare a Dow 2,5 miliardi di dollari. Benissimo. I'm aware that benissimo is not the same as woohoo, but it is a completely plausible answer that someone may give, you know. We help them say that awful lot of money, benissimo. It sounds well, it is spelled correctly. It uses elements of the periodic table, so I think it works. And these are two examples for the same product, actually. The print ad and the television commercial. This is a print ad for a mascara that's called Super Extend Winged Out. So you can already tell from the name, for the product name, that there is a link with feathers and birds. And the headline says, you captivate with lashes that soar up and out. Okay, and here in the box below, up to 60% more wingspan. So the whole visual and copy is played around the idea of creating a link actually between the product as such, and we'll see it in the video, the product name, and feathers and birds. So this was something that I definitely wanted to retain in Italian, bearing in mind that the name had to stay in English. So the product name used in English for the Italian market would not really resonate with the audience because they wouldn't understand that the whole idea of wings was already mentioned in the very name. So the Italian became ciglia distese come ali. So you captivate with lashes that soar up and out, became ciglia distese come ali. Do not pay attention to the visual. We're just focusing on the copy here. So do not pay attention to the fact that the model is changed. The model is different here. So here we're saying lashes stretched out like wings. So the wing element was introduced by me in the headline. And here it just says ciglia fino al 60% più distese, so lashes up to 60% more stretched out, because for us, wingspan is something that we would hear if we're watching a documentary, but we wouldn't talk about apertura alare. You know, we're talking about when we're advertising a mascara. And this whole birds, feathers connection is clear also in the television commercial. So the television commercial starts with this sentence, introducing a new way to spread your wings, and then I'm going to show you the Italian version of it. And I also directed the voiceover recording sessions. I was physically in the studio, the recording studio with VO talent Maria Grazia Rigo, helping her deliver the lines in Italian. But let's take a look at the English version first, American actually, if it works.
Introducing a new way to spread your wings. Avon Super Extend Winged Out Mascara. With our feather-inspired, precision-tapered brush, lashes lengthen up and way out. Lashes flare out for instant wingspan. With Avon's Raven Black formula enhanced with lengthening fibers, you captivate with the winged out lash look. New Avon Super Extend Winged Out Mascara. Avon, you make it beautiful.
So, feather-inspired brush, Raven Black formula, and again, wingspan. So it was clear that there is a link between the product and birds and feathers. And this is the Italian. And the opening line is, "The time has come to take flight."
È arrivato il momento di spiccare il volo. Mascara Avon Super Extend Winged Out. Grazie al nostro applicatore di precisione ispirato alla forma delle piume, le ciglia si allungano verso l'alto e verso l'esterno e si distendono come ali. La formula color nero corvino arricchita con fibre allunganti ti assicura uno sguardo aperto che ti renderà irresistibile. Nuovo mascara Avon Super Extend Winged Out. Avon, tu lo rendi più bello. Chiama l'865 33 33.
Sort of lag, so you see the images and the audio is not, but still you get the idea. So the challenge here for me was try and retain those connections, those links. But at the end of the day, if the transcreation professional is a translator, but also but this is the last slide, so it won't take long. So if the transcreation professional is a translator, but also a copywriter, but also some sort of cultural anthropologist, but also a marketer, just like Mike said, you're a bit of a consultant, really, like a fully fledged consultant, because you're not just adapting copy, adapting a text, but you're also advising clients like this woohoo can or cannot be left in English, or this would work best for your target audience. So you are actually a consultant to them, and you are hired precisely because you've got the expertise to establish on a case-by-case basis whether a close rendition of a text works in the target language, or whether you should take a different approach and, if need be, recreate the source text and sort of create a new original, as it were.